really was looking forward to and really was needing this 3-day weekend. So now we are on Monday night, October 14th. And this Monday is a holiday in Japan, meaning that the Saturday, Sunday, and this Monday would have been a 3-day weekend for me. So I was really looking forward to this. Just imagine me, Friday rolls around. My boss is actually out of the office, my manager. And then the second manager that just joined, she told me to go home early. We usually end at 6 p.m., but she was like, you know what? If you don't have anything urgent, let's just get out of here by 5 p.m. because it's Friday. It's 7 p.m. Friday. No, it's 5 p.m. Friday, 65 degrees. I have no idea how many degrees it is in Fahrenheit, actually. So I'm sorry. This ad lib went nowhere. But no, so I was able to get home a little bit earlier on Friday, which I was so happy about. And imagine like my relief, okay? Imagine the huge sigh of relief I'm about to take as I step into my door and I have this entire 3-day weekend ahead of me to look forward to resting and focusing on self-care, rejuvenating myself, staying inside the house, filming as many videos for YouTube as I want to my heart's content. And I get a text from my friend, my dancer friend who works in the nightlife industry. She's like, hey, just so you know, this is the schedule for this weekend. Here you go. We're slotted to go do champagne girl duty at none other than Shinjuku Warp.
The ghetto! The ghetto.
On Saturday night. And she texts this to me Friday night. I'm like, could you maybe have given me like at least one more day's notice? Girl, I was really trying to keep my composure in that moment when she sent me that text. Like, are you for real right now? You're gonna spring this onto me on Friday night? Like, I was about to cry. I thought that for the next 3 days. So I already had, okay, the second part of this video, which I'll talk about later, but I already had the Woohyuk fan meeting thing. It was like a bus tour. It was very weird. I will get into that in the second half of this video, but I already had planned to go to Woohyuk's fan meeting when he was here in Tokyo. So he has like a 3-day event thing. It seems he utilized this entire 3-day weekend as well to do 3 separate events on his little, Tokyo tour, but I opted to just go for the one today on Monday, the 14th. And so I thought that I was going to have all of Saturday and all of Sunday to basically luxuriate in the house, go into my little hermit mode, order Uber Eats 5 times a day, film videos, clean, sleep, cuddle with my cat to my heart's content. That was what I was looking forward to. I almost had it in the bag, okay? I had it on lock Friday night. I was totally in the mental zone, prepared to do that when my friend texts me last minute and says, hey, we're on bottle girl duty at Shinjuku Warp on Saturday the 12th. And I just about almost cried in that very moment. But I couldn't say no, okay? Because this friend is basically my direct connect to the nightlife industry. If I want to continue this little experiment that I'm doing, and if I didn't have her, it's not that I couldn't do it by myself. Obviously, I can reach out to clubs and whatnot, but I will say it's a lot more comfortable. It's a hell of a lot more comfortable, and it feels safer to me to be able to do it tagging along behind her, because if I went by myself, I feel like I would just be very stressed out by all of the extra expectations and whatnot, and I would feel very vulnerable, right? I wouldn't want to go by myself, like cold turkey, to these clubs as a total newbie. And on top of it, I'm not like native Japanese or anything, even though my language skills are good, but that's the problem. People mistake me for native Japanese, and then sometimes I don't understand exactly what they're saying because they use a lot of specialized language in different industries, which I'm not necessarily exposed to, right? Because it's not my native language. So although I have been told on numerous occasions by people from all different areas of my life, like from my friends and my coworkers and whatnot, everyone always compliments me on how good my Japanese sounds. However, it's only as good as the situations that I have had experience being in up until now. You know what I'm saying? So that has not included the nightlife industry. Anyway, the point is, I do truly appreciate this friend like going out on a limb for me and allowing me to kind of be her plus one essentially, because I feel a lot better with her next to me. However, I was just not expecting for her to spring this on me last second. I know that she did not do that on purpose to put me on the spot or anything, because I know that she has been her schedule has been hectic as well. She's contemplating a move to a different prefecture, like completely out of Tokyo. I think she recently went to Singapore as well to go visit one of our other dancer friends. And so, yeah, I get it. Everyone's busy and it's a whirlwind. And to be fair, I did give her this weekend as one of the free slots in October that I had when she asked me, like back in September after my first bottle girl shift in my entire life that I did with her. She asked me what dates I was free in October, and I basically said like every single weekend except for one, I think. But like, she hasn't contacted me for like at least 2 or 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks was the last time that we spoke to each other because I've been doing my thing, she's been doing her thing, she's been in and out of the country. And so I was just really not expecting that. I was not expecting the text to come through on Friday night for us to go to Warp Shinjuku again on Saturday night, which I told you in my last Confessions of a Tokyo Bottle Girl episode. I told you that I hate that club because it is so freaking ghetto and the area is just so dirty and grimy. And I would like my mental health was not doing well the hours leading up to that night. So here's what happened. I think so Friday night, I did a little bit of editing for YouTube, but I was feeling very like kind of demotivated because I knew that I was basically trapped into doing this night shift the next night. So I was kind of just like dreading all the hours leading up to that. And so yeah, I edited late into the night, Friday night, and then Saturday morning. I don't even know what I did on Saturday. I think all I managed to really do was get some shopping done. Oh, Saturday. So I scheduled a massage for myself. Yes, now I remember because like I just knew that if I didn't do some form of a little more higher caliber self-care than I usually do DIY things, right? Like face masks at home and the what's it called? The gua sha massage with the stone by myself at home, but I actually went out of my way to schedule a massage for Saturday once my friend told me that we were working the night shift that night because I was like, there's no way that like I'm just gonna break, mentally if I don't at least put some extra care into my body beforehand. So I scheduled a Korean style massage. It's the Korugi massage. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, but it's basically like the full upper half of your body. They get like the shoulders and the back and all of the tense areas and also your face. So it's kind of like intense, lifting massage exercises for your face done by the masseuse, of course. And it's completely just with her hands. So I felt a lot better after that massage. But then afterwards, I was still like dreading the bottle girl shift. So I just went to sleep after my massage from like 3 to 8 p.m. ish because I was supposed to show up at 11:30 and our shift was going to start from 12 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. So we were required to show up at 11:30 so that we could get changed and situated and everything. And guess what happens the second that I wake up? So I wake up, right? And I'm like, all right, good. I feel refreshed. At least I'm well rested, even though I'm still not looking forward to this. But let's just put on some positive affirmations. You guys, I searched like bottle girl affirmations. I'm not even kidding you. I searched bottle girl subliminal affirmation loops or something. Nothing came up, of course, because there is no such niche content that exists yet. I don't know. Maybe I should make some. Like maybe this is a niche that I can fill. Maybe there are tons of bottle girls out there globally going through this exact dilemma, okay? Like being scheduled kind of against their will to work a shift at a club that they really, really hate, but they can't exactly say no for one reason or another. They just have to get through. Like they just have to, get their mindset right or raise their mindset to the level where it can just carry them through that shift. Maybe I need to fill that void, okay, of the demand in the YouTube subliminal affirmation video market. But anyway, I couldn't find any, so I just found the next closest thing, like affirmations saying that, oh, everyone likes to work with me, or I'm always the best worker, I'm always an excellent worker in any industry or any field that I enter. I was literally like, this is how you know that I get desperate because I don't really listen to affirmations that much these days anymore. I used to when I first started getting into manifestation and stuff, but I'm like 3-4 years deep into the game by this point. I don't really necessarily need that to help me reset my mindset because that's already my set point now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm already at a much more positive set point than I was in the past, but my mental state was really wobbly at this point because I was just really dreading this warp Shinjuku shift. So I had to resort to basics, playing affirmation tapes. And yeah, I woke up at 8 p.m. I was like, all right, you know what? It's not going to be so bad. Like, let's just go in there. At least I got a nap in beforehand, and at least I got my massage. And now it's 8 p.m., which means I have like 3 whole hours to do my makeup. I have no rush whatsoever. That's another thing that I consider part of like my personal self care is giving myself enough time to do my makeup and to get ready, essentially. So when I say doing my makeup, that includes doing my hair, getting all of my accessories ready, getting my outfit on perfectly the way that I like it. I don't like to be rushed when I do any of those things. So when I say 3 hours, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to use up like the entire 3 hours from the first minute to the last, but it's just the fact that it gives me a lot of buffer time, right? If I had to, I could get everything ready in an hour flat, but that would require me to rush and feel agitated and irritated and nervous. So the fact that I had 3 hours to get ready, I was feeling good. And lo and behold, I see out of the corner of my eye a little, no, actually a huge black button sized little thing scurry across the floor. What do you think that was? I don't even want to say it because I feel like if I say it, the YouTube algorithm is going to pick up on it and like associate videos of those types of insects to my channel, if you know what I mean. So we're just going to call it, what are we going to call it? We'll call it an agent of death. Cause I really think that that's what it was. No, we'll just call it the black button, okay? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? A black button with legs, with hairy legs and antennas, and huge. This is a thing, okay? The buttons in Japan are so huge. That's the thing. And like it wasn't even so bad when I first woke up because I didn't have contacts in or my glasses on or anything, so it was very blurry, right? I couldn't see all of the nitty-gritty detail. I just saw it move, like, scurry across my floor. Those things are so fast as well. First of all, how did you get in here? How did you get into my apartment on the 3rd floor? I thought that they couldn't climb up this far or that they wouldn't bother to even if they could. Like, how and why did you come up to my 3rd floor apartment? I don't understand. Like, how? Where? Is it through the window? Because I don't open my windows. I have panes on all of my windows. I'm, like, panicking, right? Because I'm, like, staring at it, trying to follow, where it's going with my line of sight, but those things are so fast, like, I don't understand how they are so tiny and so fast. Is it because they're low to the ground? Is it kinda like the same logic as, a sports car? Like, a lot of cars that are built for speed or for racing and whatnot, they build them closer to the ground, like the body of the car is lowered closer to the ground or it's lower on the wheels because of, I don't know, physics that makes the car go faster. Am I making sense at all? Anyway, the thing was so fast and I lost sight of it a couple of times, which made me panic, but I knew that it was in the general area, this 1/3 of my apartment where my door is. And so, you guys, what do you think I started doing? I decided that I was gonna manifest this black button thing that is alive with legs. I decided that I was gonna manifest the button to just walk out my front door. Like, I don't have to do anything, I don't have to kill anything or squash or touch anything. I'm just gonna visualize this button walking outside my door with, like, little to minimal effort on my part, okay? I finally found it again. It kinda scurried into this corner of, not inside, but outside of Maxine's cage. There's, like, a small sliver between the cage and the wall, and so it went into that corner. I don't have bug spray or anything, so I took my cleaning spray and I tried to like spray it. However, the cleaning spray nozzle is not strong enough for it to shoot out that far to where the button was, like all the way up against the wall. And so, instead of, I'm like, okay, so pretend this is the spray bottle. I'm spraying it like this, expecting the stream of liquid to come out this way, but it went like this, right? Like kaplunk. And so then of course the button notices that I'm trying to take it out and it scurries like back across my bookcase, and then now it's in my entranceway, or genkan as they say in Japanese. I don't have like an entranceway. It's not like a hallway, but you know, the place where you take your shoes off when you walk in, and then there's like a step up that goes into your actual apartment. So like the sunken place, you know, where all my shoes were. And like thank God, I don't know how, by the grace of God, it did not crawl into any of my actual shoes. It just crawled like under my shoes, okay? Which I felt like, you know what? That's fine, because when I'm walking around outside, I'm sure that I have walked across grounds that have been traversed by moving buttons before. And so I could deal with that, you know, because what I could not deal with is if it started crawling in and out of my actual shoes, because then that would have had me sitting there for at least an hour afterwards trying to disinfect every inch of every shoe that I own. But thank God it never actually went inside, right? It just stayed on the ground and crawled like underneath the soles of my shoes. So then I just went for it because I was like, you know what? This is it. This is my chance. What I have been visualizing for the past 30 minutes of this black button straight up walking outside of my apartment with little to no effort by me. I was like, you know what? I leaped across. It was under a certain shoe that was kind of like against the step that goes into my apartment. So I just kind of stepped over that and then opened the door. And then I basically just waited for it to continue, because it was like kind of maneuvering around like a maze around my shoes, trying to find an outing, trying to find its way out, right? I think it's scared as well, because I've been screaming this whole time as well. I've been like screaming every time I see it scurry across the floor. And then Maxine is also alarmed at this point because I don't normally scream for no reason. Like, or at least I don't scream in that way. I will squeal at her in delight on a regular basis. So she's used to that sound, but she's not used to me actually shrieking in literal horror and fear. So Maxine is like meowing as well, because she's like, what's going on with my human? And I'm like, shh, Maxine, don't provoke it. Like, don't let it know that there's two of us here. So anyway, so basically I just wait there for like another 5 minutes. I wait patiently for it to maneuver its way around my shoes. And then once it breaks free of my pile of shoes, it like makes a run for it and darts across the it darts across the floor outside my apartment, goes straight for the stairs. And I'm just like, first of all, again, holy shit, how are you so fast? And you're like literally the size of a button. It was so huge though, like they're so huge. And you know, I still believe that all creatures on this earth deserve to live with dignity, and they don't deserve to be killed, right? Because I would never think of Maxine in that way. So even though it's disgusting and it makes my skin crawl, I don't believe that black buttons deserve to be killed necessarily, but I want them to stay outside of my apartment. You know what I mean? I just want them to stay out. And I still don't know like how it got in here, because I'm on the third floor. And so by this point, it's taken 45 minutes out of my 3 hours that I had budgeted to do my makeup in a leisurely way for my bottle girl shift. So I'm down to 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is still not bad. That's still plenty of time. So I'm like, okay, thank God. I can breathe a sigh of relief. I'm never going into my apartment again without triple checking like all the sides, the entire perimeter of my door, just to make sure that no black buttons are waiting to pounce inside. It's almost summer here, and the black buttons will be shamelessly scurrying about outside my apartment block soon. Ah! They don't even okay, I don't see that many, you know? Like, I see one or two once in a while when I'm outside walking, but I don't see that many outside, and I just don't know. I don't understand how they get up to the third floor. Like, why would you even bother? If you were a black button, if I was a black button, why would I bother to like climb up the stairs? I also have the dilemma of not wanting to kill them. LOL. Yeah, I mean, my desire to not kill them goes twofold. Number one, I just don't want to harm any living creature like that. Truly, I don't. No matter how creepy crawly they are, I still feel like, who am I? That's not my right to, you know, claim a life. It feels icky to me. It makes me sad. And then number two, it is just disgusting, right? Because then I would have to deal with the mess. That would probably make me want to throw up even more than the sight of an actual black button who is just alive and moving around. I don't want to deal with the situation whatsoever. Like I don't want this to be within my frame of acknowledgement. Okay, I just don't want this to be in my consciousness whatsoever. And so, yeah, I manifested that button outside of my apartment. So I was like, okay, I was doing good. Okay. I had my massage, I had my nap. Like, my blood pressure is relatively low at this point. Or I don't know, is that a bad thing actually having low blood pressure? Never mind. But like, I did my affirmations, my vibe is pretty high as you can be. After finding out last minute that you're going to be working at a club that you absolutely hate for the next 5 hours, but I was doing well. And then this just kind of like really shook me up again. But I got myself together. I got my makeup and everything done, made it to the club on time, made it there early, right? So my friend got there early too. And we were like, all right, this is perfect because now we can take our sweet time, go in the bathroom, have a little chit chat, put on our dresses, no rush, no muss, no fuss. And guess what? It actually went off pretty well without a hitch. It's so weird because like it felt like it went by in about half the time that my first shift felt like. So the first shift literally felt like I was there for 10 hours, even though it's only 4.5 hours. I don't know. It was just I mean, I think just the fact that it was the first time was a little bit nerve wracking, or I just felt like a fish out of water, right? Like I didn't know what I was doing. And then some of the people there were a little bit snarky, like the guys that were working there. This time around, I feel like it was a lot more chill. We didn't have such huge parties like we did last time, because last time we had this there was in particular this one group that was just so huge. They just kept interchanging new groups of like 5 to 10 people each time. So it wasn't even just one or two people coming in and out. It was like on the hour there would be at least 10 new people coming in and out. That was the group that spilled the cake on the couch and then started eating the cake from the couch before we could even get a mop and a bucket there to clean it up. They just started eating it from the couch. I don't know. So that was a little bit unpleasant for me last time. And yeah, it just felt like it took forever. It felt like 10 hours. But this time, I remember at one point during the night, my friend taps me on the shoulder and she's like, "Hey, we only have an hour and a half left." I'm like, "Really?" I also checked my phone this time and I went to the bathroom once, which I didn't go to the bathroom last time. So that might have actually, I mean, it sounds silly because a bathroom break is 5 minutes at most, but it does help. It breaks up the monotony, if anything, of just like standing there the whole time in the same area. Would you ever try different wigs to see which color texture makes the most money? It's so funny that you asked me that because I was just going through my old wigs the other day because I was trying to brainstorm Halloween costumes. Or I don't need to brainstorm actually because I have so many things that I want to be. I have so many looks that I want to do. It's just a matter of how many can I execute within this very short amount of time. Like it's already October 15th. I don't have a lot of time to be pumping these looks out. But I was just looking through like my wigs and my old costumes, and I realized that if I wanted to, I actually have everything that I need to do most of the characters that I want at my disposal right now. Like I don't need to necessarily buy anything new online, which is great because we like saving that coin. But like for example, I have this random wig. I don't even remember what I bought this for. I think probably for the Cheshire Cat because it's like pink and purple. But yeah, to answer your question though, I don't know if I am at the point where I would ever be comfortable wearing a wig outside for an extended period of time, let alone on the actual job as a bottle girl, because I feel like you never know what could happen. I don't know. It just sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. But that being said though, I did notice there were other girls like in the bathroom with us when we were getting ready. There was like two dancer girls, and I saw both of them were kind of installing not a full wig, but they had hair pieces that they were installing. And so that's what actually reminded me to go back home and go through my hair pieces that have been sitting in storage and collecting dust this whole time. Because I was like, oh yeah, it was a good reminder as well, because it kind of reminded me that, oh, everyone is using whatever they have at their disposal to maximize their look to the best of their ability, right? I mean, I know this obviously already, but it was nice to have that reminder directly in my face because sometimes I do kind of get into the headspace of like the dancers and the entertainers, like yeah, the girls at the clubs, they just look so good, and it's easy to kind of look at the finished product because they do it so well, right? So it's easy to look at that and just be like, wow, they must have just woken up out of bed that way or they must just be born that way. Like, damn, I wish that, I wish that I knew their secret sauce. But to see the other girls getting ready in the bathroom at the same time as us, it just reminded me that, hey, we are all more or less on the same level playing field here, right? It's just a matter of learning the skills to enhance your look, whether it be makeup or installing wigs, or even you can include diet as well, right? Like if I wanted to tighten up my body or make the hourglass a little more pronounced, all these things I have the ability to do just as much as the next girl. So yeah, but the women that came to the tables tonight, not tonight. The women that came to the tables on Saturday night when I was working the second bottle girl shift ever in my entire life. They were so beautiful. Like they were actually so inspiring to me. I wanted to ask them where they get their procedures done and stuff, but obviously I didn't ask that because that would be inappropriate. However, I was really inspired because they looked exceptionally good. But it wasn't that busy. It was a pretty chill night. And the customers were really, really nice. Like a lot of them just insisted that we took a drink with them. Yeah, it was very chill. Like it was interesting. There was one guy that bought a table by himself. It was just one dude, and he bought two bottles of, I forget which champagne it was, but he bought two, right? Which is a significant amount plus the table charge. And he was just there by himself for, I wanna say, around 30 minutes. At the 30-minute mark, I think 2 girls came in to join him, and they literally sat there for maybe 10 minutes tops, though. Like, I don't think they even finished their entire glass of champagne, and then after about another hour, he was sitting there alone by himself again, and then he just left. So, he bought 2 bottles of champagne, but they only finished half, like, him and those girls, and then the other bottle was completely left unopened, and I was just like, "Wow, how much of a baller do you have to be able to just do that?" Like, get a table in VIP and throw down your money on 2 bottles of champagne and not even consume one of them. You just have it like that? You just have that much extra so that it doesn't even put a dent in your pockets? I'm like, "Okay, kudos to you." I mean, clearly, these people, men and women, have a lot that I can learn from in the club. Oh, and the guys were friendlier this time as well. So, like, last time, I feel like all the guys had some sort of weird chip on their shoulder. It was like 3 dudes. I didn't care, but it's just annoying, right? Because they would make, like, dumb little comments or try to suggest that you're not doing the job right, like, "Oh, you make sure that you refill the champagne cups whenever it's empty," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, but you weren't here 5 minutes ago when I tried to do that, but the customer told me not to do it because they didn't want any more, and so just because you didn't see the whole story, don't assume that I'm not doing my job," right? So, it was like all the guys did weird stuff like that last time, but this time, there was only one guy like that, and the rest of the guys were totally chill. And then one of them was actually, one of them was a magician. So I didn't know what they were talking about because they kept referring to the word magic, like magic, magic, and I was like, is that code for something in club world? But then later on, I found out that he actually was a magician. Like he quite literally went to the tables, the VIP tables, and did magic tricks for them. So he was very talkative and friendly to me, and he told me that he was going to go to LA for the first time, and it was going to be his first time going out of Japan ever in his life. So I told him, "Oh my god, if you ever need any help or if you find yourself in a tight spot, don't hesitate to call me because I'm American, obviously, like I can help you out." So true, it's easy to forget the hair process those girls go through sometimes. Do you say it's inappropriate to ask about procedures because we shouldn't assume people have had work done? Oh, it's not necessarily because of that. It's just because like I'm on the job, right? As a champagne girl, like I don't want to be asking the guests questions like that. If it was some sort of social situation, it's not necessarily rude, especially in this type of industry or like the type of people that go out to clubs, the type of circles that I run in, exotic dancers and whatnot. Like people are very open about procedures and things like that. But just the situation that the fact that I was on duty as a bottle girl, it's fine to be friendly and to even drink with the customers sometimes. Like sometimes they will insist that you take a shot with them, which to be honest, I usually decline because I really cannot handle alcohol at all. But it's a nice, like most of the customers are nice and they want you to join in on the fun. But still, you have to maintain some level of distance, right? The customer server relationship. So I would definitely not feel comfortable asking the women who are like guests at the VIP table about things like that, unless they started talking to me about it, which they didn't. So, balling all right. I'm guessing the fussiest guys have the least money. Exactly, exactly. Um, could you hold on a second? I think Maxine is having a fit over there. Actually, I think we should say hi to her. It's been a while since she said hi. Say hi, Maxine. Hi, Maxine. Oh, you're getting chunky. That's good. She should fatten up for winter, as far as I'm concerned. This is my baby. You know what? Thinking of Maxine also helped me to get through the night. Because I was like, you know what? I have a child at home. Okay. She might have 4 legs and be covered with fur, but she's still my child. A single mom who works 2 jobs, who loves her kids and never. She's 5 years old. Yeah, she does have a sweet face. She has the best face in the biz, I think. She just can't control it. That's why she couldn't really cut it as a model, but it's okay. I never wanted to push her into the child modeling business anyway. So yeah, that was club night. That was the bottle girl night. It was pretty uneventful. It went by really quickly. Both the customers and the other guys that we were working with were chill because none of the guys that I worked with at my first shift were here on the second shift. It was a completely new group of guys. One of the girls, the tequila girl, was the same. And then there was another like random server girl. I'm sorry, I don't mean to call her random. I just had no idea like what her actual position was, and she was dressed in like all black server clothes, but I guess she was just there to help with the serving the tables. It's so true about pets motivating us to work jobs we hate. Yeah. So no, I think I did my job. Like I think I played my cards right that time to the T. Getting the massage, making sure that my physical and my mental was in the right state, or at least I was able to get it to as positive of a vibration as possible before I entered that shift. Black button with legs and antennas almost ruined it for me, but I even then, okay, I was undeterred and I decided I'm gonna manifest this problem away. It's not gonna be a big deal. Like, oh, did I tell you? Okay, when I finally when I stepped out of my apartment, like ready to go to the station to catch the train to Shinjuku to start my shift, this button was still not completely all the way out of my apartment complex. It was hanging out on the bottom step, the last step of the first floor, basically the first step when you come in to my apartment. It was like waiting there for me, almost as if to taunt me, like I'm still here. And as I walked past it, I was like, you know what? I don't even mind if you stay here, like outside. If you want to hang out on the first step in that corner over there, be my guest. Just don't ever fix your ass to come up to my third floor apartment ever again in your life. Like, it's just unnecessary. No. So, yeah, that was Bottle Girl night.